It's Bigfoot Collectors Club with Bryce, Michael, and Ivy. I know a story of high strangeness or two. Let's do this.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Bigfoot Collectors Club, the show where we talk to amazing guests about their personal paranormal history and share stories of high strangeness. I'm your host, Michael McMillan. With me always is your other host,
Bryce Johnson.
And back in the virtual clubhouse, the one, the only super producer,
Riley Bray.
Oh, hooray, hooray. Riley's back, and I know we missed you,
Missed,
and I
bro.
know
You were
the
missed.
Club Scouts missed you.
And I missed you so much. Felt weird to not be doing the show every week for a couple weeks. It was bizarre.
It's very strange. And then the pressure's on me to act like an engineer, and I don't know what I'm doing. So, well, listen, we want to catch up with Riley, but I thought it would be good to just jump into some little clubhouse business up front, and then we're gonna dive into where Riley's been. Everyone, I want to let you know it's officially Dark December. Okay, this is a theme I came up with in about 5 seconds. I wasn't sure what it meant when I came up with it. But all month long here on the regular feed, we're going to be doing some spooky, dark, wintry stories and experiences of high strangeness. Okay?
Great. Okay.
I like it.
Ooh, what could that mean? Little tease for you. And
I'm
it's
into
all
this.
gonna culminate with our Dark December Clubhouse live stream on Saturday, December 16th. That's just around the corner on popsylounge.com. You can get tickets right now at popsylounge.com. Click the link in the show notes to this. Click the link tree in our Instagram at Bigfoot Collectors Club. You've got to be following us over there. That's where the whole visual part of the show exists. And then, of course, there will be an additional VIP pass if you want to have a virtual meet and greet with Bryce Riley after the show. The darkest VIP. So,
It'll be
we got a show.
Our darkest live stream yet, everyone.
It's our darkest live. Yes.
Can't see our faces.
It's right around the corner. In fact, I believe as you're listening, no, it's still a week and a half away. This will be out on the 6th.
That's around the corner.
It's on the 16th. 10 days.
Dude.
You got 10 days. Speaking of right around the corner, we have a BCC emergency of the not so fun kind. Bryce, this is news to you because you missed our last business meeting.
Yeah.
The merch shop, our fine folks who run the merch shop, are closing it down.
No.
This is out of our control. We have nothing to do with this, but SCP, the people who make our merch, they're shutting things down. Okay, It's not just affecting our show; it's affecting some other shows on the Q Code Network.
Man.
I don't want to say it's everyone's fault who's listening because I don't think it is. But I will say this: if you have been holding out on getting any merch, like the glow in the dark hoodie or anything. Get on it now. I think
I could use one of those. I bought one of those for my little brother. I don't have one. Man.
Let me say, I think it closes on Friday. So
wow. Okay, that's good to know.
As this episode comes out, so get on it, Club Scouts.
Dang, okay.
Because here's the thing: will we have merch? Yes.
Yeah,
Do we know where that merch shop is going to be set up as we discuss
We do not.
with you? We don't. So get your merch now if you want it, and I still think there's some time left to get it before the holidays. So jump
great.
on it. It's
Do
out
it,
of our
guys.
control. It's out of our control. Okay.
Man. Okay.
I
Good
need
note.
to replace my hoodie. Pam stole mine on tour.
She did. She wore it.
Oh, I'm
In
so glad.
every
She
pose.
probably
But I
looks
just let her
great
keep
in
it. I was like, you've worn this the whole time. It's yours now.
That's awesome. Okay, Riley, we need to order our
we
glow in
gotta
the
order
dark
some
Bigfoot
hoodies.
Collectors
Yeah.
Club hoodies and Club Scouts. You do too.
Listen.
Before Friday.
I have one. It's the one merch of mine that I will wear publicly, shamelessly, because it is very comfortable and I love the design.
I hate to see. I don't know what the inner workings are, but I hate to see small businesses going out of business. I wish them well, and you know what? We'll find a new merch dealer, and we'll get the best Bigfoot Collectors Club merch to you guys.
I think they're okay. I just think our merch shop is not okay.
I think we're the small business.
I think we're the small business getting shut down, Bryce. So feel bad for us.
Hey, I'm a glass half full type of guy.
I love it.
I appreciate it. We will have future merch. We just haven't figured it out yet and probably won't until 2024. Okay, let's kick things off by checking in with our Club Scouts who have been leaving us 5-star reviews on Amazon per Riley's request. This is an easy way to help get the show to, more people. More exposure equals more people. So I got to say, y'all have been showing up. We have some real novels being written over on our Amazon podcast page. So please keep them coming. Some of them are too long to read on the show.
Love
Riley, who is our 5-star Club Scout of the week?
Well, this week it's Matt Meeseek.
Oh, we love Matt.
We got 5 out of 5 stars. And the subject of the review is Better Than Aqua and Haunted House. Reviewed in the United States on November 18th, 2023. So, we've all been to both Aqua and Haunted House. Sure, the deck, trapdoors, and Kim Kardashian getting her head taken off are cool, but how many of us have access to Club Bryce? As a day one listener, I always get asked by my doctor how'd I get into Club Bryce. He always begs to go with me, and when my heart rate spikes from 1 a.m. dip-ins, I tell him I was just masturbating. Little does he know I dip in twice a week for the regular feed, and the Patreon Cosmeteer level access really makes for an epic night. Anyway, if you can give these guys a listen and follow your party life and enjoyment, will greatly increase. Love these 3. That is what I'm talking about.
That's what we're talking about.
The nonsensical Amazon reviews just tickle me. They're just great.
We love
it. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate
Thank you, Matt. And thank you for being here since day one. All right. Well, if you haven't already guessed, there is no guest this week. It's been a month since Riley has been with us, so we figured it was time for a little Clubhouse catch-up.
Nice.
So, listen, we got some BCC news this week, and we have a very fun story of high strangeness. But I want to check in with Riley because you were on tour with Tommy.
I was.
Up and down the West Coast. How was the tour, buddy?
It was probably the best tour I've ever done. It was so much fun. We were opening for this band called the Crane Wives, who, if you're not familiar, you should look them up. And they have this really interesting story. They've been a band for, I think, going on like 13 years, more than 10 years, and like doing the club circuit and kind of like, just being a band. And they had a song start to go viral on YouTube, and then that sort of triggered a YouTube algorithm avalanche, and then they had another song go viral on TikTok, and then all of a sudden they've just exploded to this new audience.
Wow.
And it was such a cool crowd to play for. It was a lot of like, it was a younger crowd. A lot of people after the shows would come up to us and tell us it was the first concert they'd ever seen, and like that was so cool.
What a great start. Hell yeah.
It was like a lot of the shows were all ages, so like 16 to 19 I think were the people that were
TikTok
because also
kids.
TikTok kids, because they had the pandemic too, so it's like if the pandemic hit when you were 16, you're not really getting out to shows now till you're like 19.
Oh man.
So
God, that fucking sucks.
I know, it's crazy.
Those TikTok teens got ripped off with this pandemic.
They really did, yeah. But it was so cool to meet this audience, and we also, it was a lot of parents were there, like with these sort of like 16-year-olds, and the parents would come up and be like, I got dragged to this, but that was really good. I really liked that. And it's like, okay, this is cool. We're like kind of reaching both generations here.
For sure.
We're kind of somewhere in the middle.
You're what, Riley? Good music does that, man.
You're the Star Wars of bands now, Riley.
Basically, yeah, reaching both sides. But yeah, I mean, it was just such a blast, and the Crane Wives have become great friends, and this hasn't been announced yet, but I think we will be doing some more touring with them coming up in 2024. So
great.
Keep an eye out for that. But yeah, it was just it was like a dream come true. Like one show in particular that sticks out was we played the House of Blues in San Diego in the big room. And I remember when I was a teenager, I went and saw Sonic Youth play on that stage. And so like to get to now be like, now I'm playing on that stage for teenagers. Like I was like, this rules. This
Dude.
totally rules.
Wow.
So yeah, it was just it was truly awesome. I think we did 12-ish shows. We made our way up to Seattle. And then from there, the very next morning at 6 a.m. after we finished tour, I flew to Indianapolis in Indiana to do a film project with Pussy Riot, which was also incredible.
What?
Very exciting.
Tell us about that, man. That's incredible.
That was it was a protest about the, I know we don't really get political on this podcast, but it was a protest that was about the abortion laws that have been passed. It's basically a total ban in that state. And so Nadia, the founder of Pussy Riot, was doing she does these sort of protest art film pieces that are, you know, sort of blur the line between art and activism. So she staged a protest on the steps of the courthouse there, and we filmed it and created a little short sort of art film music video out of it.
Man,
that's great.
It was really cool. It was really great. You can look it up. It's called it's called God Save Abortion. So if you just look that up, you'll find it.
Great.
Awesome,
And
man.
did you meet any Club Scouts on the road?
I did. I met several Club Scouts, actually. I had the fortune of having some list spots in towns where I didn't really know people. And so some people that I've been chatting with on Instagram, I just threw them on the list. And so I got to hang out with Club Scouts like most nights, actually.
Oh, that's great.
Somebody would turn up, and because the whole tour was also sold out. I don't know if I mentioned that too, which was just like so cool to every night just get to play packed rooms. But so I was able to like get a few people in as in each city, and that was a great time. It was so cool.
Yeah, dude, you got that Bigfoot juice.
I'm not sure.
That shit is
I'm gonna
real,
leave that one on
homie.
the table. Yeah, but yes, I brought my Bigfoot juice all up and down the West Coast.
Fucking love it.
Riley, that's so great, dude.
Yeah, it
we
was
were
a
thinking
blast.
about you, man. We were like, he's out there rock starring right now, man. You wear it so well, man. You're such a generative, creative guy, man. And to see you sort of not dipping your toes, but fully immersed in this rock scene and producing the Bigfoot Collectors Club and shooting videos with important causes, and way to go, man. Hats off.
Man. Yeah,
Hats
thank
off.
you. You know, I'd forgotten how much I missed touring, because the last proper tour I was on was when Spindrift was on tour, and we had to cancel and go home midway through the tour because of the pandemic. And I've done shows obviously since then, but I hadn't done like a proper tour really since then. And it was like, oh, it's so good to be back in the rhythm of this.
That's good. It's
doing
good to get it
again.
right. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. It was a fine return to the road. It was great.
Riley, you're not just an excellent musician, you are also an excellent performer. So I'm so happy that you got to be back out on the road and be in front of audiences, because you're great. You're great.
Thanks,
and
guys.
yeah, congrats. And we're happy to have you back here. Now, I couldn't help, I would be remiss if I left out the fact that you did stop by a Bigfoot museum while you were on the road.
Oh,
We
yeah.
We
did,
posted
yes.
some video on our
Something
Instagram.
I would never do, by the way. So, way to go.
I think we were en route either to or from Portland, and we were driving through a very small blink and you miss it town called Boring, Oregon, of all places, which is hilarious.
Yes.
And I saw a highway sign that said Bigfoot Museum, and I was just like, we're stopping. Like we were sort of in a rush. We had to get to sound check, but I was like, wait, like we're stopping. Like I'll be quick. I promise. You guys can pee and get coffee.
You know whose museum that is, don't you?
No, I don't actually.
Oh, yeah. Well, tell him. Enlighten him.
Yeah,
Bryce.
lay it on me.
That is Cliff Barrickman's museum in Boring, Oregon.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Finding Bigfoot.
Yes, that's
his
finding
spot.
that's Finding Bigfoot's Cliff Barrickman's Bigfoot Museum. What he did after the show is he opened up a Bigfoot museum in Boring, Oregon, as well as has a podcast of his own with Bobo. Yeah.
Oh wow. So is that some sort of rivalry there, Bryce, or is it okay that I stop?
No, no, not at all. We love Cliff. We've
Cliff's
had him on
been
the
on
show.
the-
Oh my
Cliff
God,
has
Cliff's
been on the other
show.
side. Cliff was
Listen,
one of our
just kidding.
first
Yeah.
celebrity interviews over on the other side. Bryce had an excellent conversation with Cliff.
You know, I'd like to say
there.
a little. There are a lot of people I've met in the Bigfoot community, but Cliff, bar none, is the sweetest, the most thoughtful, the most grounded and scientific guy in the field. Everybody just loves him, and so do I. So yeah, Cliff's great, and so go see his museum if you're in that area.
That makes sense because I had to do like a speed lap, unfortunately, because we were in a rush. But I went in and I was kind of surprised at how good it was. Like, I don't mean that to like throw shade on the whole Bigfoot thing, but I was just like, wow, this is like really well researched, really well presented. It's not a huge footprint, but it's like very dense and like this like great sort of write-ups on everything and great exhibits, like so many artifacts. I wished that I had more time to spend there. It was super cool.
Yeah, I think it's in the lineage of sort of Lauren Coleman's museum, as well as sort of the China Flats Museum found in Willow Creek, which has its own sort of Bigfoot museum there as well. So
there was also a life-size Bigfoot statue with an interactive soundscape that was triggered when you stepped on the pad in front of it.
I love that.
I really, really enjoyed that.
What kind of sounds?
It's like you like step on this pad and it starts just sort of making like forest ambience, and then
I love
you
that.
hear some like distant wood knocks and then you hear some whoops. Yeah. And then it kind of starts building up and getting more intense. Yeah.
This is like I really want to do. I've been saying this for years. I really want to do like a Bigfoot forest soundscape that's sort of like the ocean meditations that you put on before you go to bed. But I want it to sound like a Bigfoot is coming closer and closer to you in your tent.
We're going to do it. It'll happen.
Yep.
It will manifest.
Yeah.
Listeners, let us know if you would be down for that. It's just an oral experience. That's all. An audio experience.
Who's out there by that tent? Oh my! I'm being harassed and harangued by this wood ape.
Hey, y'all stay away from my Daisy Lou.
Oh, applesauce! I was just bereft without you. Where have you been?
I've been waiting in the tent, and guess what?
Gobble, 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 gobble.
Oh, no! I was about to say, I don't need to pinch a tent with a tent pole while you're around, Daisy Lou.
But unfortunately, you got eaten up before that. So
this is canon now for Applesauce, that Applesauce is a widow of Daisy Lou who was eaten by a Bigfoot.
Yes, and
that's right.
He's got, a very impressive member. That's what we also learned.
It's canon.
Oh my god.
All right.
So
well, welcome back, Riley, and welcome back, Applesauce.
Thanks, guys.
Goodbye, Daisy
Good
Lou.
to be back.
Let's talk about microdosing.
That just right feeling when your body and mind are really at peace, like after a workout or a nice long shower, when you're relaxed and focused and a little energized.
Oh, you mean being in the zone? Well, microdosing can help you get into that zone easier and stay there longer.
That is the zone I'm talking about, Bryce. And, I can think of one example. I had a little microdose before a Tomy rehearsal. And usually, if I partake in THC before playing music, the tempo starts to drift ever slower. But with the microdose, it's just like kind of like really present and in the pocket and vibing, and it's a great sort of space for expanding creativity and connection and just being in a relaxed flow state.
Well, that's exactly right. There are some touted benefits of microdosing, including relieving anxiety, pain, or muscle tension.
We're providing a little mood boost or relaxation or just being in the moment.
Falling asleep and staying asleep.
Boosting focus and creativity.
Or perhaps aiding your post-yoked alchemy workout recovery. To learn more about microdosing THC, go to microdose.com and use code BCC to get free shipping and 30% off your first order.
Again, that's microdose.com, code BCC.
Microdose.com, code BCC for 30% off.
Let's get into it. This is old news by the time you guys are hearing this, but we have to talk about, I don't know. So, we get sent so many Bigfoot videos. There was the one on the train from a couple months ago. By the way, on What's Up Weirdo, our recent guests, Jessica and John, they covered that Colorado trained Bigfoot.
No.
And
Oh, yeah.
John,
Okay.
being the fucking genius that he is, he went, okay, let me pull. He pulled up Google Maps. He did a quick search in the area for Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and there was like a Sasquatch truck rental company that was less than a mile away.
Oh my God. See,
Okay.
he's good. He's good
He's
like
good.
that. Yeah.
He's good like
He's
that.
good.
Yeah.
So if you haven't heard that episode over on What's Up Weirdo, it was probably a viral marketing stunt for a literally nearby truck rental place.
Yeah. See, my method is I like to jump to conclusions.
Yes,
Sure,
Bryce.
we all do.
It's the best way to just get to the crux of it, and then I
just
work
get to the
backwards.
point.
Yeah, and then I'll work backwards. I'll
say this.
wait a minute. I'll
It's like-
walk myself back.
It is the quickest way to having fun, one way or another, is if you just jump to a conclusion. Well, let's see what conclusions you jump to with this. Cassandra Yorgi at exemplar.com wrote about this viral video that went up on TikTok. Trail cam seems to capture a good look at alleged Bigfoot's face. She writes, much like fake blood, pretty much anybody can buy some do not enter tape for about $10 and slap it up anywhere they like to fake their own death or a Bigfoot hoax, whatever. And there actually seem to be more laws about manufacturing specifications of the tape rather than about governing its use. I've often wondered what would happen if a criminal taped off their own crime scene, because I bet a significant amount of time would go by before anybody started to wonder why there were never any police there. New footage alleging to show Bigfoot tearing up a crime scene seems like the sort of thing law enforcement would notice, but there seem to be no news reports of the incident, leaving no more questions than there are answered by the mysterious dark figure casually tossing tree trunks. Many believe this display of brute strength must be the result of the legendary cryptid. However, those people may not have seen the Scottish caber toss competition in which stronger than average, but still entirely human men hurl trees to see who can throw them the furthest. So I took a look at this video. I shared it with you guys. What she's talking about is it's video of a crime scene, allegedly, and you see what looks to be like a Bigfoot with a, I would say, human-looking face.
Yeah. Well, it's a dark, hairy creature.
Creature.
Yep.
Lounging around, pulling down some trees, and then swinging a log up into the air and tossing it down the hill. What are your initial, what is your conclusion that you would like to jump to on this one, Bryce?
Okay. Well, at first, at first, I loved this video because I found myself, sort of leaning in and glinting like, what's going on back there? And, and of course, as the screenshot master, I got to screenshot that face and zoom in and screenshot that screenshot and zoom in and screenshot that screenshot one more time, which I did. And I love the face. Michael, you pointed out, I guess I'm getting a little ahead of myself, I normally do. You pointed out, which looks like a Haggerty mask from Harry Potter, painted sort of black, We'll put that up on our Instagram. I got a great shot of it. But what I originally liked about this video, what I jumped to was how easily it picked up this huge tree, this fallen tree log that's got to be, I don't know, at least 10 inches in diameter, and sort of chucks it, which seems quite easily. And I was like, oh, I like this video. There's a few tree throwing videos going around.
Rearing up.
Yes. But then as I'm watching it for the umpteenth time, I go, "Oh, is that a glitch?" And I notice what looks like a possible edit before the tree gets picked up, and I have a problem with that. So it's funny enough, as right before this podcast, I took it to Walker. I was like, "Hey, I need your eyes, your discerning 12-year-old eyes. Tell me what you think about this Bigfoot video." He watched it. He's like, "Okay, all right," and then he's like, "I'm like, so what do you think?" He's like, "Fake." I'm like, okay, maybe I got. What do you guys think, Riley?
I mean, for starters, a crime scene is taped with tape that says "police line do not cross," and that tape says "do not enter." So, right. Maybe it was just a taped off area that was construction, but I mean, that's like right off the bat where they're saying
so good,
like, this
Riley.
is a crime scene. And it's like, well, that's not how a crime scene is taped off.
Right.
Yeah. So there's that. And then I really like this one. It was sent to me by my boy Watson. Shout out Watson. I really the tree thing kind of got me. Like, I got excited when I saw this, and I sent it immediately to you guys, and it was like, this is like one of the better ones we've gotten in quite a while.
Oh wait, did I get it from you?
Yeah.
I thought I sent it to you guys.
I remember Riley.
Sorry
about that. Taking credit for something Riley did on the road.
Hey, look, I didn't do it. Watson did it. Shout out Watson. He listens
Thanks,
to the show.
Watson.
But yeah, so I mean, but just like something in me is like, well, this is like definitely fake, but I love it. But I can't say how or why it's fake. Like, I don't know how they pulled off that tree thing. Maybe it was like a very dry, rotted tree, so it was light, or who knows. But it's a good one. It's one of my favorite ones I've seen in a very long time.
It's really good.
The camera does skip around 45 seconds as that log is being picked up, and there were a lot of people making those comments. And yeah, really great point about the caution tape. But you know what? I think it's us calling it a crime scene, like not just us, but everybody else. Maybe it is just a taped off part of the forest where...
Right.
You know,
they don't totally could be like a construction zone or something. Where they just don't want people in there.
Or timber zone or something.
It says in the thing at crime scene and destroys area in the caption of the video. So that, but I mean, also it's like, well, that could just be a mistake.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Squatch Watchers doesn't know. Yeah.
Right,
so
right.
I don't know. I like
one thing.
One
thing I do like, I agree with you. I really like it too. One thing I do like is as I was zooming in on that close up of the face, I was like, Mike, if I was standing there with a rifle looking through a scope and I was scared, because this thing does look pretty scary. Like it is sort of a haunting figure back there. I don't think I could pull the trigger because that face looks so human. You know what I mean? I'd be like, oh, is that a guy in a costume? I'd be like, what the fuck's going on? And I'm like, and so it was a little bit of insight for me, like what it must be like for some of these hunters who do report these things at the end of their scope, going like, oh, wait a minute. Oh my, maybe I'm just like, maybe this is probably just a man. It could be the stuff that must go on through your mind as you're like about to pull a trigger on something like that.
Well, and I think a lot of those hunters' reactions are they don't think it's a man in a costume. It just looks so human that they feel like it would be murder to pull the trigger.
Yeah, that's right.
And this definitely looks like a human face. I mean, this almost looks like the Bigfoot. I
wouldn't shoot this thing. That's what I was trying to say.
Definitely not. Yeah.
This looks, well, you wouldn't shoot any Bigfoot. We know that.
No.
But this looks like almost like the Bigfoot from the $6 Million Man, which you can look up on YouTube, the old 70s show. Probably somebody in a costume, but I liked it. It reminded me of that great...
Of course you would, you hoaxer.
Yeah, it reminded me of that great Skunk Ape video where there is what looks to be some sort of primate pulling branches down off the trunk of that tree in that swamp.
Still love that video.
That's a great one.
That's a good one.
Probably my favorite. So,
and I was going to say too, there are it's lore, it's canon. There are some incredible tree throwing videos out there. There's one that was taken in British Columbia on a log site, and you see the loggermen, they're talking, and there's a commotion going on, and back in the tree line, must be like 200 yards, you see this fucking tree, must be like 30, 40 inches in diameter, just get hurled like a javelin through the wood line, and it tumbles in, and you're just like, okay, what the fuck is that? Because not even machinery can pull that off. You know what I mean? And like, I'm sorry, it's just like you're passing the point of credulity there.
Well, somewhere an engineer is like, I will build this tree throwing machine.
Yeah,
right.
You just inspired.
I'll show you, Bryce Johnson,
the next generation of log cannon builders. They're just fire logs out of cannons. Just to prove you wrong. You might have been doing some horse math on that one, Bryce, I have to say, but we'll find out.
Well, that's what I'm known for, keeping it real.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's time for this week's story of high strangeness. Hey, Club Scouts, Dark December is here, which means that the Wendigo is looking for you. No! Why not hide under miracle-made sheets that not only protect you from bloodthirsty, frostbitten humanoids, but also provide that just right temperature all night long using silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA?
Not silver!
darkness. Miracle Made sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long so you get better sleep every night. These sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. So they won't stink like the kill nest of a snow-covered cannibalistic monster who made some very poor choices in a previous life. Miracle sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. Certainly better than whatever rags old Wendy is dragging around.
Dark rags.
Miracle sheets are the perfect gift for your spouse, friends, or family. Who doesn't want better sleep and luxurious feeling bed sheets, huh? And since these come with 3 free towels, you get 2 gifts in one, just in time for the dark holidays.
Towels.
Go to trymiracle.com/BCC to try it today or gift it to someone special this holiday season. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Save over 40%. And if you use our promo BCC at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/BCC and use the code BCC to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/BCC to treat yourself, a friend, or loved one this holiday season.
Run from the Wendigo.
Okay, everybody, it's time for this week's story of high strangeness. But before we get there, I want to remind y'all to follow us on Instagram at Bigfoot Collectors Club and on TikTok at Bigfoot Pod. And if you have a story of high strangeness that has happened to you, write into us at BigfootCollectorsClub@gmail.com, and we might read it on a future L-Files episode. All right, here we go. Our first Dark December entry for the month.
December.
Well, what if I did the whole thing like this? We have a recurring segment. We play with guests. Cool. Just like even try to go even weirder than the
I
dog
would
man.
say about 40 seconds in, you'd be like, fuck.
Yeah. This was a terrible idea.
Terrible idea. Can't commit to it. Well, what I was going to say is we have a recurring segment we play with guests called Bullshit or Believe It. And this past year, we added mystery big cats to the list of phenomena. Mm-hmm. For as often as we've mentioned this phrase in 2023, we haven't actually done a story of high strangeness that's centered on a mysterious feline beast.
Right.
So, as the days darken and we journey towards the end of the year, I thought it was about time. Now, that being said, we don't really know what the subject of this week's story was. Some compared it to a panther or a mountain lion, while other eyewitnesses said it was more like a bear. Whatever it was, it terrified a small town in the early weeks of 1954, leading many to wonder if a vampire creature was hunting the community.
Ooh.
This is the story of the Beast of Bladenboro. Now,
Love it.
I do want to warn our listeners that this story involves animal mutilations, so it might not be the type of material that you want to discuss on a first date, Bryce.
A shout out
Or
and
do,
a camp.
Either way.
It depends on how the conversation's flowing.
Hey, what are you into?
The Beast of
Bovine
Bladenboro.
exsanguination?
The Beast of Bladenboro is a feline cryptid said to have measured between 3 to 5 feet long and weigh anywhere from 90 to 150 pounds.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Not too bad, but as you'll see, it's packing a little punch. It's like Wolverine on the X-Men.
Okay.
You know, this thing goes into berserker mode.
Oh, shit.
The legend began 70 years ago this month in Clarkton, North Carolina, where, on December 29th, 1953, eyewitnesses saw something sleek, dark and about 5 feet long, attack and kill a dog, and run off into the woods.
Fuck that. That ain't cool.
Whatever the black creature was, it seemingly migrated 8 miles northwest of Bladenboro to ring in the new year with a violent feeding frenzy. On New Year's Eve, Bladenboro resident Johnny Vouse, a farmer, suffered a tragic attack at his home. His 2 dogs were killed by a mysterious predator.
My dogs put up a good fight. There was blood all over the porch, big puddles of it. And there was a pool of saliva on the porch. It killed one dog at 10:30 and left it lying there. My dad wrapped the dog up in a blanket, and that thing came back, and it got that dog, and nobody's seen the dog since. At 1:30 in the morning, it came back and killed the other dog and took off. Sorry, we found it 3 days later in a hedgerow. The top of one of the dog's head was... I'm sorry, are you laughing? I hear it giggle. I don't think this is funny at all.
I'm so sorry. No.
These are my dogs I'm talking about. I'm trying to get into a space.
I sometimes laugh when I get nervous and something's overwhelming, so I'm sorry.
All right, as I was saying, the top of one of the dog's head. Oh, no.
Well, now you're laughing, sir.
Farmer Voss.
Oh, no, now you're done it.
Farmer Vouse.
He's so bereft.
Get it? Okay, get it together. Just tell us what happened. Please, sir. Your dogs are dead. You were telling us what happened.
I was so excited when you told me you had the giggles. I was like, oh, I love the giggles. I haven't had the giggles in a long time. I should poke him a little bit. But I didn't need to. I had him in me all this time.
We found it 3 days later in a hedgerow. The top of one of the dog's head was torn off and its body was crushed and wet, like it'd been in that thing's mouth. The other dog's lower jaw, oh God, was torn off. They got my dogs.
I'm laughing because you approached this quote with like the most A24 level seriousness. I mean, you really did. It was like suddenly you were playing a character in a Taylor Sheridan show.
Yeah, I gotta get back to work. I need to find an acting gig quick.
It was good. I'm not laughing. It was a very good performance. I was expecting something maybe a little bit more applesauce, and I got like a cold, distant stare in
range.
Your eyes.
It's called range.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
Oh God, Yellowstone casting directors. I hope you're listening to this. He might need a couple takes for breaking character, but
he's got it. He'll get there. He'll get there.
Whew. All right. Over the next 3 days, the dogs of Bladenboro fell prey to the beast as more and more residents found their beloved four-legged friends' mutilated remains. Some even witnessed the attacks, calling into the sheriff's office to report a large, dark panther or bear-like creature on the loose. The sounds produced by the beast were described as... Anybody want to take a wild guess?
Ooh, is it a pig or a woman screaming?
A woman scream, yes,
wow,
that is on the board.
wow.
What else? What's
That's
the
a
other
deep
one that
cut.
we hear?
Riley, you took the words out of my mouth. Pig. How about I'm gonna say a screeching howl.
No, but I mean, I would put that under
Baby,
the pig.
crying baby.
A crying baby, Bryce. Ding,
there
ding,
it
ding.
No.
The old High Strangeness soundtrack was at play with the beast of Bladenboro. They said its voice sounded like a woman screaming or a baby crying.
Wow. Wild.
By January 3rd, 8 dogs in total had been reported killed by the monster. An autopsy conducted by the authorities on 3 of the canines discovered something truly bizarre. The victims had been almost completely exsanguinated.
What?
Yep, just a few drops of blood left in all those corpses. Police Chief Roy Force told the Robesonian newspaper that something was using Bladenboro for their hunting grounds, draining animals of their blood like a vampire, but quickly adding to tamper fears, well, this vampire is probably some kind of mad wolf. which is like, wait a minute,
no
a mad
makes
wolf.
no sense.
okay.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Wait a minute.
Worry
Okay.
about that.
So you're still saying it's a vampire, but now you're adding that it's a mad wolf vampire.
I like this guy.
Word of a vampiric beast quickly spread around the town as more animals, including a pet rabbit and a goat, were found decapitated, drained, or mutilated. On January 3rd, Chief Force led the first hunt for the creature, but apparently his hounds were reluctant to follow the trail of the beast, who clearly had developed an appetite for dogs.
Yeah.
Then, on January 5th, the first human was attacked. Mrs. C.E. Clinshaw, who was described in the local papers as a pretty 21-year-old, was home at around 8 p.m. when she heard her dogs whimpering outside. She went out to the front porch to see what the fuss was about, where she saw what she described as a big mountain lion-like creature. It bluff charged her, but ran back to the woods when Mr. Clinshaw, hearing his wife scream, burst out the front door ready to defend his beloved. The monster retreated into the swamp, but left behind tracks in the snow, which Chief Forrest described as being bigger than a silver dollar. Not only that, but there appeared to be a smaller second set of tracks. The Asheville Citizen-Times suggested the vampire may have a mate.
Well, a silver dollar, that's not very big.
Yeah, it's not that big,
I know,
really, right?
that's what I was
That's
trying
terrible-
to... Maybe they
yeah,
meant
it's
like a
like-
silver dollar pancake.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I was like, well, silver dollar's not that much bigger than a quarter.
Yeah.
I think he was talking pancakes. This supported at least one eyewitness claim who told reporters that when they spotted the creature, there was a, quote, a little one just like it running beside it, end quote.
So weird.
On January
vampire
6th,
mad wolf.
yeah, a local kid said that he spotted the beast, which looked like a big cat and wailed like a baby crying. On January 11th, 2 cars stopped when a cat-like creature with stubby ears and a brown tabby coat crossed the rural road in front of them. So we're kind of getting all sorts of different descriptions here with this thing. It was a slow week, and the news of a bloodthirsty predator roaming Bladenboro made headlines from coast to coast. Local authorities hired professional hunters from Wilmington who descended upon Bladenboro in hopes of tracking and killing the monster. And soon, many volunteers followed. By January 8th, so we're about a week out here, around 2,000 hunters arrived in the swamplands of the small town, causing unsafe conditions for everybody involved. Even fraternity brothers from UNC got in the game, arming up and descending upon the town in hopes of bringing home a black furry trophy for their frat house. Years later, the mayor of Bladenboro at the time, Woody Bob Fusel, told the Greensboro Times,
The town was armed with a goddamn teeth. Even small boys carried guns. Chief of Police Ray Flores and I knew someone would surely be shot accidentally.
the Humane Society caught wind that hunters were even using dogs as vampire bait and protested to Chief Forrest. Residents were increasingly wary of stepping out after dark when the vampire seemed to strike most often, as vampires are wont to do. Resident Ev Butler, who was a young man during the flap, would years later describe what it was like during these heightened few weeks. Now, Bryce, I want you to play Ev Butler as the most hardened, dramatic individual who has ever lived in any Taylor Sheridan movie, okay?
All right.
We didn't live in the town limits at that time, and almost everyone had an outdoor privy. To supplement the outside convenience, most houses had a thunder jug. I know you're laughing, but it's a big jug that could be used at night and emptied into the privy during the day. Jesus Christ, you city slickers. That jug got plenty of use during the scare.
Can Taylor Sheridan write a new show called Thunder Jug? Thunder Jug. All right, hear me out, Mr. Sheridan. It's called Thunder Jug. I play a cowboy. I'm very hardened. There's a vampire cat on the loose. in my town, and I have to take a shit, but I can't go outside, so I keep filling up this thunder jug. Now, what do I do with it? Where does it go? That's where the drama comes in, Mr. Sheridan.
Ah, that's amazing. I love it. I want to star in Thunder Jug.
Now, the flip side to having a vampiric beast kill the town's family pets was that having a local monster was good for business. Bob Fusel was not only the mayor of Bladenboro, he also owned the local movie theater, where he quickly started running the 1949 thriller called The Big Cat. A sign outside the cinema read, "Now you can see the Big Cat. We have him on our big screen, in Technicolor too." Then there was Dick the Half-Man Hilburn, a local celebrity who was a former sideshow performer alongside someone named Carl the Frog Boy Norwood. Dick, who had been born with no legs and only one arm, had recently retired from his circus career and returned to his hometown where he entertained locals with skateboard tricks and wondrous feats.
He's like, well, that's right, ribbit.
I know, what happened to Carl the Frog Boy Norwood? God, these are great characters for Thunderjug. Half
really
Man and
are.
Frog Boy? Come on.
Yeah, this whole world is just fleshing right out.
It's really great. Dick also happened to be a talented tattoo artist. As a man who clearly knew how to capitalize on a craze, he started selling license plates with the beast painted on them to all the hunters who came to town. Now
That's cool. That's fucking
brilliant.
As Riley usually, that's metal.
Yeah, and there's
Very metal.
2,000 hunters from outside your town. Like, that's some good money. He learned a thing or two from that circus.
You imagine
Smart.
you imagine like the old A&W restaurant, the old car hop, just like everybody pulling up in their fucking trucks and guns with their fucking license painted with a fucking black cougar on it.
No, they're walking.
How you doing, boys?
They're walking out of the Dairy Queen, and they look down, and Dick the Half Man is on his skateboard just playing a vampire cat on their license plate, and then he asks them to pay for it.
Oh, that's good.
People are lining up to empty out their thunder jugs. You know?
Man, people lived
see.
back then.
You could really sneak around a parking lot and paint those license plates on that skateboard, you know?
Yeah, dude, I would fucking want my license plate painted. Hell yes.
On January 13th, Mayor Fusel and Chief Force called an end to the hunt by stringing up a dead bobcat on a flagpole in the center of town and declaring they had killed the beast of Bladenboro. The bobcat was apparently found caught in a bear trap in the swamp. And while a bobcat doesn't really fit the description of what the eyewitnesses had been seeing at all, it did seem to let a little air out of the monster posse balloon that had been inflating to an overwhelming size over the past 2 weeks. That being said, more animals were killed in the coming weeks, specifically pigs and chickens, which led to a rumor that the Vampire Beast of Bladenboro and its possible friend were still on the prowl out there.
It seems like the menu changed a little bit.
Yeah, you go from dogs to like bunnies to goats to pigs and chickens. Back to
weird.
dogs. I think they always go back to dogs. Dogs seem to be the main course, sadly.
Wow.
However, by the end of January, the killings died down and the beast seemed to vanish back into the dead of night, never to return. The mystery of the Beast of Bladenboro has endured to this day. It remains one of the biggest cryptid flaps in North Carolina's history and the mascot of the annual Bladenboro Beast Fest.
Well, I should hope so.
Even
Beast
if the
Fest.
Beast Fest. Even if the attacks were real and the perpetrator never fully identified, as Mayor Russell later said while reflecting upon the incident.
A little publicity never hurt a small town,
And that is the story of the Beast of Bladenboro.
Man.
You
Okay.
you guys don't think Mayor Russell killed all those dogs? do you?
I hope not. He did say,
I hope not.
he did later say, I think it was probably 10%
Yeah.
real and 90% fantasy.
I drink your blood.
Yeah, exactly.
I drink it.
They found a bunch of
Drink
bloody
it up
bloody
with my
straws.
straw.
Yeah.
just to promote his theater. Yeah.
This exsanguination thing is so strange. I had this theory pop into my head as you were sort of reading this menu change idea. First of all, I love this. I'm so glad you finally touched on the big cats thing, because you hear about it a lot. It's secretly moving up the crypto chart. It really is the cryptid chart, I should say. People love these big cat sightings, and but I've never heard it sort of coupled with this sort of chupacabra, blood-sucking aspect of it, exsanguination.
Yeah, this was like an early chupacabra attack. You're right. I didn't even put two and two together on that, but you're 100%. I was thinking more in the terms of like the alien stuff, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's so weird. And so the idea I had pop in my head is like, when you take a photo on your phone and it gets uploaded to the cloud. Well, what if this creature is from another dimension or another universe, and whatever it eats, this blood that it takes, it gets uploaded into the mothership cloud or whatever, and it's there for to analyze, it's there to store for the data banks, and this creature just goes on a tear and consumes a couple dogs, variations, some pigs, some chickens, some goats, boom, upload it to the mothership, we're out of here.
That is a wild theory. I like it.
Very, very weird and very cool.
It's a sampling device.
Well, where else is this fucking blood going,
I don't know. It's really strange. And they would say that, like, and I don't mean to get too graphic, but like the skulls of those dogs were like crushed.
Yeah.
And then they would look at the body and the body had no blood left in it.
That's what triggered me to want to do a real dramatic reading, because I've been like super in love with my dog this last few weeks, and a dog up the neighborhood got bitten by a bigger dog. And he's the sweetest little puppy. And so when dogs are on the getting attacked, my acting's got to improve.
No, your acting was great. I was just expecting you to go broad, and you went in the opposite direction.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I mean. I owed it to the dogs.
Yes, yeah, who got don't get me wrong.
Killed.
It was a delight. I wasn't laughing at your skills. I was laughing at the choice.
So much fun.
I'm trying to find this quote from one of these articles that I pulled up, but basically,
Bladenboro.
There are no big cats in this area.
No, there's not supposed to be.
That would match the description. Now, I think Carolina used to have panthers. Hence the reason we have Carolina Panthers as a mascot, but it's been 200 years or longer.
Right. And the word panther and cougar are almost interchangeable, and mountain lion, like I know, Riley, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know why you're the animal expert today, but isn't that right? Like, what words
Pumas and mountain lions are basically the
That's
same
what
thing,
I meant.
Yeah.
Puma, panther, same thing. Mountain
Puma
lion,
and mountain lion
cougar.
are the same thing, I think. Panthers are not, but I couldn't tell you why.
Panthers, pumas, and cougars, apparently.
Gotcha, okay.
Sounds like my dating history, guys.
Hey! Oh man, I love it, man. This is so weird. I love this stuff. This is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, my first impulse is like, oh, well, this is like maybe an exotic cat that's escaped or something like that. But then the whole exsanguination thing is, I don't know. That takes it to another very bizarre place, non-animal behavior,
And think about what people are trying to describe. They're like, it's like a bear, it's like this thing, they're like having a hard time. Cat bear. They're having a hard time describing this fucking creature.
Some people even thought they were dealing with like a coyote or a strange dog. It was, they just didn't know what the hell this thing was. And I think this is a situation where like the eyewitness testimonies were like kind of hard to piece together. Clearly this thing was dark and it ran around at night. So I think it was hard for people to really get a good look at this thing.
God, I love it. It's so great.
Wild.
Well, there you go.
Great job.
Beast of Bladenboro. That's a good one.
Great name too.
Yeah.
As we've learned on this show, if you want to stick around as a cryptid, you're going to need a great name.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, I like Cat-O Critter, but you guys you boo-booed that one.
It sounds like a litter company.
Yeah. The Holly Hymn, that's another, that sounds more like a Jack Kirby character. Yeah, the Vampire Beast of Bladenboro.
Fucking
Hardcore. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for indulging me, everyone. And thank you to our friends who joined us on BCC The Other Side this year. Let's shout out some of our freaky friends, shall we?
Woo! Yes.
Brady Pershaw.
Thank you.
Carlos Moran.
Thanks, Carlos.
Sonia Lenardon.
Thank you, Sonia.
Sam Babao, Cosmeteer.
Thanks, Sam. Welcome.
Greg, Cosmeteer.
Thanks, Greg. Welcome.
Jared Bickford.
Thanks, Jared.
Deborah H.
Thank you.
Jen Vahan.
Thank you, Jen.
Corey Albrecht.
Thanks.
Philip Davis, Cosmeteer.
Thank you, Philip. Welcome.
Paul Gates.
Thank you, Paul.
Demache.
Demache, thank you.
And my other favorite name of the week, McXanthus.
Yes, thank you.
We're slowly getting caught up to everybody. I think we've gotten through July. We're heading into August. So thanks for
You're getting there. You just keep signing up.
being patient.
You're doing
We'll
great.
get to you guys eventually. So if you want to be a freaky friend, head over to patreon.com/BigfootCollectorsClub and unlock total access to BCC with 3 bonus episodes every month, merch discounts, the BCC, well, we'll figure out the merch stuff, guys, the BCC Discord, and more. Upgrade to the Cosmeteer membership to unlock 3 music tracks from super producer Riley, of course. And we're doing more video stuff over there. We're back into the video thing. We had the Out There. I think the Out There episodes might be our new like video go-to show where we get a one-word suggestion, we have a guest, and we just go for it in the conversation.
Oh, I love that.
like we
yes,
did with
and
John.
keep the video on. Yeah, that's great. I love that.
It'll be like our little
love.
other side talk show, you know? That's
Yep.
kind of how
Oh,
I'm
I love
picturing
that.
it. As for me, follow me on Instagram at McMills. And guess what? Strike's over, and I actually have a show to plug. I'm on a brand new show called Bookie, which is on Max. It stars Sebastian Maniscalco, the comedian. It's about bookies running around LA. I am very excited. I'm in the first episode, which is out now as you're listening to this. They're dropping 2 episodes every week, all throughout late November, December. And then I think I'm in the 5th or 6th episode. And I play a character who dresses in full drag. I'm competing with Riley to see who out of the 3 of us makes the prettiest looking girl. So
I was wondering if you were going to let the cat out of the bag.
Well,
because you shared the pictures with us, Michael. You are a
what that was for.
beautiful lady.
I know, so pretty.
Yes, I play
kidding.
a man who likes to dress in beautiful hair and makeup. And it was a total blast to play. It's very transformational for me. I loved it. So check that out. It's a goofy show. You know, it's like pulpy and it's got a little bit of that crime noir, but it's a comedy. So check it out. Bookie on Max.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Bryce, what do you got?
Awesome. Hey, Oppenheimer's out on DVD. Get yourself a copy and look for me there. Otherwise, I'm on those socials. Hit me up this holiday season on Cameo. I've been enjoying leaving you guys messages for friends and family. I'm there. Michael created a great link tree. Just click it on our Instagram page.
Yeah, hit me up as well. Riley, what you got?
Yeah. I'm also on Cameo. I'm also on Instagram. I joined TikTok. I'm sort of doing it. I'm giving it a try.
Nice.
I'm trying to, stay relevant, I guess.
It was that
I don't
Bigfoot
know.
video brought you in. That was the intention of it. Now
It
you're on,
honestly,
now-
that
now
actually
you're
was
on
what got me
TikTok.
started. Yeah. So now that's happening. And then I have a YouTube that's mostly ambient animation stuff that I make with computers. But really, I would say go stream Late Bloomer by Tommy, the new album that's out. It's been really well received, and we're very excited about it. We're already working on the next one. So yeah, go listen to the new Tommy record, and while you're doing that, check out some of the music videos. There's one for If You Tried. There's one for the song None that was directed by Julie Pacino.
No way.
Who's an amazing director, also daughter of Al Pacino, which is just
Very
cool.
cool.
So check it out. Check out the Tommy cinematic universe.
Yeah, and while you're over on YouTube, go give BCC's YouTube channel a follow. We're putting more and more stuff over there, and I think our YouTube might be a fun place to hang out in 2024. So get ahead of the trend and go give us a follow over there. All right, we're crossing over to the other side to finally discuss the grandfather of all found footage horror flicks, the McPherson tape. If we don't see you there on Friday, we'll see you back here next Wednesday for a very special episode of BCC. Until then, good night.
See, that's what you're missing. If you're not over there on that Patreon, get over there and go get regressed.
Wow, a plug in the catchphrase.
Wow, we've really sold out.
It's the holidays.
Our merch store shut down. I feel bad for the big. I always feel bad.
Bigfoot Collectors Club is executive produced by Michael McMillan, Riley Bray, and Bryce Johnson. Our show is engineered, produced, and scored by Riley Bray. Our theme song, Come Alone, is by Suneaters. Follow them on Spotify. Want more BCC? For exclusive full-length episodes every month and total access to the other side, check out patreon.com/BigfootCollectorsClub.